When Lü Meng first found out that Guan Yu was marching towards Fancheng, he wrote to Sun Quan. Yu has challenged Fan, but keeps many troops in reserve, likely out of fear that I might scheme against him from behind, as I often claim to be sick. I hereby request to divide my forces and return to Jiangyi under the pretext of seeking medical treatment. When Yu hears of this, he will surely call upon his reserve troops and send them all to Xiangyang. Our main army can then sail down the river, advancing day and night, and in this way, Nanjun can be taken and Yu can be captured. Sun Quan agreed to Lü Meng's plan and intended for Sun Jiao to lead the troops alongside him, much as Zhou Yu and Cheng Pu did during the Battle of Red Cliffs. Lü Meng advised against this arrangement, however, as it could lead to disunity within the ranks. He asked Sun Quan to pick whomever he saw fit for the position, and he granted it to Lü Meng. Sun Quan also played along with Lü Meng's ruse by publicly approving his request to return to Jiangyi for medical treatment. When Lü Meng arrived, he recommended Lu Xun to fill in for him as the frontline commander in Jing, even though he was relatively unknown at the time. Lü Meng explained that Lu Xun was talented and capable of assuming great responsibilities, but he was also a nobody to Guan Yu, meaning he would not be very wary of him. Sun Quan approved, so commissioned Lu Xun to go to take up Lü Meng's post in Jing Province at Lu Shui Lake, Lu Ku. One of the first things that Lu Xun did when he got to his new appointment was write to Guan Yu to flatter him. You've seized the opportunity to act, leading your army with discipline while achieving great victories with little effort. How magnificent! The enemy has already been defeated, and the advantage lies with our alliance. I clap my hands in hearing of your celebration. I hope that you will sweep through and together we can uphold the royal cause. Recently, due to my inadequacy, I have been tasked to come west to learn. As such, I should admire your brilliance from afar and wait to receive your wise counsel. Once Lu Xun found out that Yejin had surrendered at Fancheng, he wrote once more to Guan Yu. The defeat of Yejin and others has caused widespread joy and admiration in our ranks. It's believed that your achievements, General, are sufficient to be remembered for generations, surpassing even Duke Wenjin's victory at Chengpu or Hua Yin's strategy in conquering Shou. Moreover, after one victorious battle, one often becomes prone to underestimating the enemy. The ancients were skilled in military strategy. They taught that after one victory, one must remain even more vigilant. I hear that Xu Huang and the others have stationed their infantry and cavalry nearby, observing your banners from afar. I hope, General, that you devise strategies to ensure complete success. Yet I'm only a mere scholar with slow and clumsy words, unworthy of my role, but I cannot contain my excitement. I eagerly offer my full devotion through my plans. Even though they may not yet align with yours, they are still worth considering. If you decide to look upon them, then I hope you will examine them closely. After reading these letters, Guan Yu fell for the ruse. He felt at ease with Lu Xun at his flank, so lowered his guard. When Lu Xun's scouts reported this, he provided Sun Quan with important details on how to defeat Guan Yu. Guan Yu's troop numbers increased after the Han River burst its banks, so he sent his men to seize grain supplies from one of Wu's depots. Sun Quan, angered, agreed to a secret alliance with Cao Cao against Guan Yu. In November of 219, Sun Quan ordered Lü Meng to launch his invasion of Jing while he followed behind with reinforcements. Lü Meng and Lu Xun led the vanguard force, with Sun Jiao serving under Lü Meng's command. The lieutenant generals, Lu Xun, Zhu Ran and Pan Zhang, also had some subordinates serving them. Li Yi and Xi Jing served Lu Xun, while Ma Zhong served Pan Zhang. Zhu Gejin accompanied the forward army as a central major, while Shi Yi was also sent along despite his protest towards the appointment, citing his own lack of military experience. When the army reached Shenyang, Lü Meng ordered his elite soldiers to disguise themselves as civilians and merchants, then sail on towards Jiangling. On the journey, Lü Meng captured Guan Yu's watchtowers along the river. To prevent the Jing defenders from learning of their approach, Guan Yu remained completely unaware of the Wu advance. Mi Fang and Shi Ren were currently stationed to defend key bases in Jing Province, but all along, Guan Yu had treated them with contempt. During the Battle of Fancheng, Mi Fang caused some weapons to be destroyed in a fire, and when Guan Yu failed to receive his supplies, he angrily remarked, "I will deal with them when I return." Mi Fang and Shi Ren felt very uneasy after hearing that, but Lü Meng showed understanding towards Mi Fang. He surrendered Nan Commandery, while Yu Fan was able to persuade Shi Ren to give up Gong'an County. Within Yi Province, Mi Zhu became deeply ashamed of his brother's betrayal, eventually dying of sickness and wrath. Mi Fang was further slandered by Yang Shi for being faithless, and derided by Yu Fan of Wu for the very same reason. Back in Jing, Sun Quan oversaw the capture of Changsha, Guiyang and Lingling commanderies. After this, Liu Bei's territories in Jing largely fell under Sun Quan's control. Around this time, Liao Hua became a prisoner of war of Sun Quan's, but constantly thought of returning to Liu Bei's side. In the end, he faked his own death to successfully deceive his captors, escaping back to Liu Bei with his elderly mother. After entering Nan Commandery, Lü Meng treated the civilian population well, among whom included family members of Guan Yu's forces. He gave strict orders to his men, forbidding them from disturbing the people. In one incident, Lü Meng even executed one of his long-serving soldiers for stealing from a house, disregarding the fact they'd known each other for a very long time. He shed tears after that incident, and it also shocked the rest of the soldiers in his unit, none daring to challenge his orders thereafter. Guan Yu was retreating from Fancheng when he got news from his messengers returning from their meeting with Lü Meng. They had been given tours of the city and saw the kindness Lü Meng had given the people. He provided food and clothing to the elderly and poor, and medicine for the sick. Word of this quickly spread, so most of the soldiers lost their fighting spirit and returned to reunite with their family members. Guan Yu knew that he had been isolated, so he withdrew to Maicheng, where he headed towards Zhang district, and made it to the western side. It was here that his remaining men deserted him and surrendered over to Sun Quan. Zhu Ran and Pan Zhang were sent to block Guan Yu's retreat route into Yi, with Zhu Ran being sent by Lü Meng to lay the first line of blockades. For reasons unknown, he allowed Guan Yu to slip past, but Pan Zhang was responsible for the second layer at Linju County. His deputy, Ma Zhong, successfully ambushed and captured Guan Yu, Guan Ping and Zhao Li, with Guan Yu and Guan Ping later being executed. Zhao Li served in Guan Yu's army as a controller, but his eventual fate is not recorded. Sun Quan credited both Pan Zhang and Zhu Ran for the capture, then sent Guan Yu's head to Cao Cao, who arranged a noble's funeral for him, having his head properly buried with full honours. There were some areas which were still controlled by Liu Bei or other hostile forces in southern Jing. Lu Xun had to pacify those regions. He sent his subordinates Li Yi and Xi Jing with 3,000 men to attack Jianyang and Chen Fang, Liu Bei's loyalists. Once victory was achieved for the two officers, they advanced on to capture Fangling Commandery and Nanxiang County. Throughout these campaigns, Lu Xun's unit killed, captured, or recruited tens of thousands of enemies. Xi Jing was later deployed again by Lu Xun to put down the uprising of the influential Wenbu and Den Kai. They rallied thousands of men in the southwest of Jing to repel Lu Xun's presence, but they were eventually defeated and pushed back further west into Yi. At Gong'an County, Sun Quan threw a feast to celebrate the victory, but Lü Meng didn't want to attend because he was ill. Sun Quan laughed. "Ziming, you deserve the honour of capturing Guan Yu. You have achieved victory, but haven't received any rewards yet, so how can you take your leave now?" Sun Quan had his guards play music while he selected the officers and ministers to attend, then he carefully handpicked the equipment required for the ceremony. Once it was over, the soldiers lined up along the path. With music playing in the background, Lü Meng took his leave. That was Lü Meng's finest hour.